Guys, how's everybody doing? Sorry I haven't been super active in the group today. I've been behind the laptop most of the time except for my shoulder workout, which I banged off this morning, which was also killer. So I just want to do a quick video tonight talking to you guys about a few different things. Number one, check-ins are coming. So for the check-in process, it's really similar to the original process. Um, Basically what you have to do is you have to go underneath the progress tab in the app and you have to update all of your photos and send me the check-in sheet. I'll repost the check-in sheet inside of the group just so you guys have access to it, and I'll pin it to the top as well. So you have to fill that out. Check-ins. What do I recommend with check-ins? First of all, in order to get a consistent check-in, which is an accurate measure of where you guys are in terms of this whole journey, we want to make sure that we're doing the check-ins at the same time of the day. And here's what I recommend. I recommend that you do them first thing in the morning. When you've woken up, go and do your business. And then once your business is done, go and take your 3 photos, upload those to the app, take your measurements as well, and upload those into the sheet, fill out the questions, and send those back to me. And what I'm going to do and what Senya is going to be doing is we're going to go over all the questions. We're going to go over the movements in measurements and the movements in weight as well as your photos, because it's really hard to gauge your progress based on one variable alone, right? If you gave me your weight, that's really good for one thing. It's good for measuring the mass of your body on the earth. But if I get your measurements with that, as well as your photos, it just gives a lot more grounds that we're able to make determinations. And if there's any suggestions, if we are going to increase your food intake or decrease your food intake or whatever it might be, then we'll do that. All that I ask is during the check-in process, guys, be completely honest with me. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm here to help you find solutions. So just be completely honest. If something happened in life and you ended up eating a pile of food or whatever it might be, just be completely honest with me. Like I said, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm just here to help you find solutions. So that'll be the check-in process. I recommend that you do it on Sunday. I also recommend that you do it before your cheat meal. And the reason for that is that when you go out and you have a cheat meal, you're eating a high concentration of carbohydrates, usually, because usually a lot of guys are going to go for something high in fat, high in carbs, right? It's your day to go out, splurge, enjoy. And the thing about eating a lot of carbohydrates is that the amount of water that a carbohydrate contains and holds is substantial. I'll get the exact figure, but I believe that for every gram of carbohydrates, it's 3 or 4 grams of water that it retains. Not only that, but it's quite likely that you're going to be consuming a lot of sodium. If you're consuming a lot of sodium, your body's also going to hold on to that water as well. So that's why I recommend that you kind of make Sunday as your cheat day. If not, it's not the end of the world, but that's kind of the method that's going to deliver the most accurate results in terms of getting a good gauge on where you are from this week, from the previous week. And I do recommend that you always kind of time your check-ins so that they're on the same time. A few other things just to kind of consider is that it's the first week, right? And what we're doing here is we're building habits. And it's the small summation of habits ultimately that's going to lead to your transformation, right? It's the small changes. If you didn't nail everything in the first week, don't beat yourself up. This isn't like a big guilty, put it on you and make you feel like crap session. It's just kind of it's basically a way for me to be able to see how you guys are doing, how you're enjoying the program so far, and if there's anything that I can do to make your experience better, or if there's anything I can do to get you better results. So it's just a conversation between us two. When I get those check-ins, I'll take a look at them. I'm going to write a response and I'll email you back. There's a substantial amount of check-ins, so it's probably going to take me a couple of days before I have absolutely everybody's check-in back with feedback and then kind of the adjustments made. But if you're having any issues before then, or if you're having any issues at all, never hesitate to reach out and talk to me. You don't have to do it in the group setting if you're not comfortable with that, but send me a little bit of a letter. A couple of things I wanted to talk about as well. Amongst the check-in requirements are when you send me your feedback, and I get you your feedback back. So we basically have that little conversation about what we've got to adjust or if we have to adjust. It's basically, as I said, it's going to be a summation of the changes that you've made throughout the week, and there's a few changes, of course, that I recommend kind of getting familiar with. If you're at a point right now where you're hungry during the day, the first thing that I want to say to you is I have delivered everybody a meal plan, right? With the exception of one gentleman who is doing intermittent fasting protocol where he consumes all of his food within a certain amount of time during the day. For anybody else, if you're just looking to break up your meals, if you're looking to eat a little bit more frequently, um, as I kind of stated earlier, and I think I posted the article on that from that, what they're kind of finding is that nutrient timing doesn't really matter. So what that means is if on your plan that I sent you, you have 3 meals scheduled. If you wanted to break those meals in half and eat 6, just because you find yourself hungry, then that's a non-issue. Another couple of things that I suggest that you kind of examine are your hidden calories. It's really kind of the hidden calories that kill you, right? It's the things that you ate that might have been off plan that you might not even have really considered were off plan. And I do have some suggestions for that. So condiments are an absolute killer. Condiments tend to be high in sugar, and of course, I sent off the anti-hero guide, which kind of talks about what you can use and what you can't use. If you're a ketchup guy, I recommend that you get some of that Heinz sugar-free ketchup. You can get it at most Walmarts, or it's a sugar-reduced ketchup, and I think it's only got 1 gram of carbohydrates, one gram of net carbs per teaspoon. So they're not the kind of things that you want to use a ton of. But if you like condiments, there's a ton of really, really good condiments as well on a lot of online low-carb grocers. I think Joshua Pinkson did a post about that. So there are places that you can go to make things taste really, really good. One of my favorites, as I kind of talk about all the time, is Seal Sama teriyaki sauce, right? And simply switching these out for a regular barbecue sauce that's laden in carbs is going to save you a ton of calories. Also, make stevia your friend, and I do prefer stevia. If you like artificial sweeteners, you can use them. I would try to limit your intake of those if possible, and I would always opt for stevia. And I only say that because stevia is made from plants. It's a little bit easier for your body to process. There still is a lot of talk that artificial sweeteners and even stevia can spike your insulin levels. So you want to be sparing with them. But stevia is a bit of an adjustment. It's got a little bit of a different flavor than sugar, but when you get used to it, it really seems minimal. So there's a lot of Walden Farms products out there as well. But ultimately, it's those little hidden calories. They add up throughout the day. Whether you're a coffee drinker and you're putting, 2 tablespoons of coffee into your coffee, but you're having 4 a day, it's really all the hidden little variables that are ultimately going to add up. And the summation of your progress is going to be a reflection of how you were able to make certain changes in your life that you can institute, and not just for this challenge, but for above and beyond this challenge. Because eventually there will be a day where Matt isn't looking over your shoulder saying, "Hey, don't eat that, eat this." It's all about setting yourself up with the small little changes and just doing small little tweaks to your diet. I don't suspect everybody's going to nail everything their first week. It's not often that that happens. Some people get really gung ho, and I love it when they do nail it because they get amazing progress when they do. But it's not always going to be possible. So you also need to kind of take it easy on yourself and basically look for the small victories. The summation of those small victories, whether it's switching out sugar for stevia in your coffee, or whether it's picking up a low carb condiment, switching out regular ketchup to sugar-free ketchup in your diet plan. Those are the little changes that are ultimately going to lead to a better, leaner, stronger, more healthy you. So if you didn't nail everything the first week, don't sweat, don't fret. We've got lots of time to do it. Lots of time to turn it around. And all that I can say is just be honest with me in your check-ins, because I'm going to be able to get you honest feedback back. And if there's anybody out there who has questions, never hesitate to hit me up. I also wanted to mention too that, sorry, I've got burrito banging on the door. I also wanted to mention too, guys, if you find yourself hungry, there's a few things that you can eat that I consider kind of quote unquote free foods. There's no such thing as a free food as such, but there are foods that you can eat that are going to reduce the amount of damage. One of those free foods for anybody who's got a sweet tooth, if you're a fan of Jello, sugar-free Jello is very, very minimal in calories. It also kind of hits your sweet tooth a little bit. So I'm not really opposed to anybody eating sugar-free Jello. As well as kind of, green fibrous vegetables. Now, remember that they do have minimal amount of carbs. A lot of those carbs are, sorry, it's the dog. A lot of those carbs are going to be negated towards your carb count because they're fiber, which means that ultimately the body doesn't process those carbs, it just sends them out the other end. So if you're looking to snack on vegetables, green vegetables are ideal, green vegetables are ideal, as well as cucumber, or if you like celery as well. So just a few ideas. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Keep crushing it. I'm going to put some more workout videos in tomorrow. And I love to see what's going on with the group. You guys keep kicking ass, and I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome night.